Well, good evening, everyone. We have a tight agenda today, but before that, today is also our first meeting with a new member, William. So welcome on board. William is saving us by taking on the interim head for R&D, and for that, I will start with a brief company introduction. Johnson & Johnson, the multinational cross-industry pharma and healthcare leader we are, strive to live up to our motto, which is to champion global public health. And this year will be no exception. So in the past, Johnson & Johnson Vision Department, alongside its Vision for Good movement, has been a very important embodiment for that statement. However, there has been some issues related to that recently, and shareholders has expressed some concerns. Why don't you start with briefing us on the situation?
Sure. With regard to the lawsuit, we started to face litigation on our disposable contact lenses in 2015 with price-fixing accusations. In October 2021, we agreed to pay a total of $55 billion for settlements. Our current goal was to resolve all claims in a manner that is equitable to all parties, including current and future claimants. While we continue to stand firmly behind the quality and the rationale of our pricing mechanisms, in other words, to maintain our contact lens pricing, we believe resolve this matter as quickly and efficiently as possible is in the best interest to our company and all stakeholders. With that being said, I realized that our public image was being affected deeply by the incident, along with an overall increase in lawsuits. And I think that some amendments have to be made. Given that our contact lenses are a huge part of our Vision for Good project, I would suggest more effort on those projects to salvage our reputation. So what's our take right now, Vanessa?
Oh wow, thanks for the hard question. So I'll speak from the marketing point of view. We've done so in the past and we'll do the same for this litigation. Ullmann and I are working closely together to dedicate effort to PR responses and marketing campaigns for damage control while rebuilding our public trust in our products and Johnson's brand in general. However, damage control through only social causes campaign without actually making compensations does concern me. So right now, I'll throw the question to you, Joaquin, and you can lead the conversation here, and we can see everyone's take on this matter.
Well, of course. Well then, Joseph, could you please brief us on the Vision Department and also MedTech Department's financial status in general, like how the litigation has hit us?
Definitely. So our financial situation are actually boosted by online sales and also the market recovery. In addition, 80% of customers are more likely to purchase from a socially aware company. So we should definitely continue doing purpose-driven campaigns. And our marketing effort on that is actually yielding very positive results. For example, the Vision franchise actually achieved a sale of $3.4 billion in 2021, representing an increase of 14.9% from 2020.
Oh, sorry to cut you off here, Joseph. I just wanted to add that the benefit that cannot be directly measured by numbers. So for instance, more media outlets are covering our Vision for Good program, and our relationship with them, as well as future media exposures, can definitely construct more marketing capitals for us.
Gotcha. Going back to Ullmann, you mentioned that our litigation expense actually increased, but from what I've concerned, litigation expense decrease is actually the biggest reason why our net expense decreased from 2020. So can you explain more on that?
Yeah, and I think that is a great question. That is primarily due to the fact that some cases are still ongoing and the majority of the costs are not registered into our entries. So I would say that the increase in lawsuits and related costs will be true in the very near future. And I still think this is a very salient issue for our company.
Well, at least it's good that the situation doesn't sound too detrimental. But in that sense, Vanessa, could you please provide us with some marketing and advertising details of this Vision for Good movement?
Yeah, sure. So Vision for Good has been running for several years to expand access to eye care, especially for those in need. However, despite the project being an awareness promoter, which helps us to build brand image, I do not believe the root of this project should be only to cover our litigation troubles. So from the moment we decided to engage in corporate social responsibility for the sheer purpose of profit or PR, we might hinder the virtues of our social engagement efforts.
Sorry to gain up on you, Ullmann, but I do have to agree with Vanessa here. The Vision for Good campaign and also other social involvement projects are the fuel for R&D. We asked for more budgets, and we invested more heavily on new science and technologies, not just out of profits. We actually want to utilize the unlimited potential of R&D to change lives and to enhance health equity everywhere in the world. Just for contact lenses, our research agenda addresses myopia, which affects children at a young age. And all our eye-inspired innovation is about gaining insights from our patients, from our clinicians, to ultimately use innovation to improve our product, our patient care, and life itself. We actually worked really closely with Mansuso and the Vision for Good team. It was the faces of all the children that we could help actually prompted us to think deeper and to aim higher. To be very frank with you, my team and I would be really outrageous to know if our research efforts were not for the pure benefit of our patients and were actually compromised in the delivery to our patient because lenses prices were set too high.
Yeah.
So going off of what William was saying, from my perspective, Vision for Good and the Human Resources Department are beneficial to each other because one of the highlight of Vision for Good is actually talent for good. So as we believe that doing good goes beyond changing the trajectory of eye health, talent for good actually allows us to build an environment where our talent can achieve their full potential. And talent for good program actually connects our employee to volunteer work in any NGO, and we will provide them with paid leave to cover their volunteer efforts. We believe that as a product leader in the industry, we should do business with social purpose in mind. And such a program not only help our society, but it also empower our employees. And they are the most valuable intangible asset that we have. We have to keep in mind that our talents are passionate about the world and the people in need. And J&J as their company should always share the same vision with our employees. I mean, happy employee, happy life, right?
Yeah.
Well, I see. I do think that it does work better with our company ethics. So I do agree with you, Peter and William and also Vanessa, that we should have separate marketing campaigns to do damage control for the litigations and to keep Vision for Good out of all of this. But I also think that devoting more efforts to Vision for Good for the next fiscal year makes sense. Yet, before we go further down that track, what's increasing social causes impact on the company's financials? Like, is there consequences hard to deliver?
Yeah, actually, corporate social responsibilities bring many benefits to a company. For example, the P/E ratio has proven to be positively and significantly improved when a company does CSR. So our P/E ratio actually declined 23.35% from last year, so we should definitely go with the CSR rule to increase our P/E ratio in the near future. We're now facing a lot of external challenges such as labor costs, transportation costs because of COVID-19, and we could consider increasing price for some of our portfolios next year. However, for contact lenses, I think we need to consider the internal costs and the external situation, so we should consider remove the the price floor. So the market is also expecting growth in the near future, so we will have buffering our income.
Great. We have a quite positive financial outlook then. Then I agree. I definitely think we should stop setting price floors for our lenses, and we'll confirm the next step soon and talk to the Vision's core team about it for the deliverables. Ullmann, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of you guys, and thank you guys for the great input. I definitely see you guys' points here. On the legal side, the General Counsel will continue to serve as the guardian of the community and of the company. In addition, the Council will provide clear legal strategies and guidances that support and enable the success and execution.
Amazing. So, since we have the consensus to augment Vision for Good's program for the next fiscal year, what specific plans do your departments have in mind to enforce that vision?
For the R&D side, we have in late-stage development of new contact lenses categories that can potentially, other than vision correction, benefit patients that are suffering from other symptoms of eye diseases. This should give us more capacity for the Vision for Good campaign in the next fiscal year.
So for the Talent for Good program, we can definitely channel more talent to further support the expansion of the scale of Vision for Good program.
I'll be going into details about next year's budget with every one of you soon for our next meeting. And I look forward to working closely with you guys soon.
Fantastic. Thank you for your valid input today. It's been really productive. I think it is indeed better for us to arrange another meeting soon with preliminary budgeting, and I'll update our shareholders accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you.